So I just wanted to make this video because I've been really heavy over the last week and having these discussions with my boys. And I've always shied away from this topic. I pretty much stay neutral when it comes to politics and religion because I'm a business owner. I have corporate contracts that can be affected by my opinion. I serve on several boards and as board of directors and governing boards. And so I've always tried to stay pretty neutral, but I have decided that I need to speak my piece and whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna just put it out there and leave it in God's hands. So let me just start by saying, if you haven't had to have the following conversations with your kids, count yourself lucky, okay? Because for years, we've had to have talks with our boys to keep them safe. Our oldest is 17 and we have 5 boys all the way down to 2. Some of those things include how to behave when we go in a store. Maybe you tell your kids, oh, no running, no yelling, don't touch this, put that back. I have to tell my kids, only touch what you're gonna buy. When you purchase something and you leave the store, keep the receipt in your hand or put that item in a bag, even if it's a candy bar or a stick of gum. When you're followed in the store, don't touch anything, keep your hands out of your pocket and just leave quietly because we don't need to purchase things from an establishment that's going to profile you. When you walk into the store, the gas station, the grocery store, the drug store, take your hood off, take your hands out of your pocket, take your hands out of your hood. Even when it's snowing, take your hood off. When you get pulled over by the police, keep your hands where they can see them. When the police officer walks up, don't move, don't talk back, don't ask them, what did I did? You let them speak first. You let the police officer tell you what to do, and when he asks for your driver's license, you keep one hand on the wheel, you tell them exactly where it is, you slowly move to grab it, and you slowly hand it back. All you need to say is, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. When you are playing with basketball with your friends and the cops show up or the police show up at a party, don't run. Do not run. Despite what your friends do not run. You stand still and answer their questions respectfully. If you've never had to have these types of conversations with your kids, count yourself lucky. Be grateful you don't have to fear for their life every time they leave the house. Every time my kids go get me a glass of milk or a gallon of milk from the grocery store, or they want to get out of the house and get a candy bar, I'm worried, are they gonna come back? Every time that they walk to the grocery store with their friends, I'm worried if they're gonna make it back. If you don't have that worry, count yourself lucky. And then realize what it's like to be Black in America, okay? Because that's what it's like. We have to teach our Black men and women and boys and girls how to behave completely differently than a lot of other races in America. And yes, we know everybody's not racist. We know all cops are not evil. We know these things. But that doesn't mean that my child might not come home tonight because someone makes a bad decision, especially on where we live. Okay? I recently reserved a vacation rental next weekend for my family from a friend, and she went out of her way to tell the property manager to alert all of the residents that we would be there. There's going to be a Black family there. Please do not call the police. That's the world we live in. Sadly, she had to make that phone call to keep my family safe. Because guess what? We're gonna show up at a predominantly white resort and in very affluent area. We're probably gonna be the only brown people in the building and sitting on the beach, and people who live there will assume we don't belong and we're there or we're trespassing. That's the sad world that we live in. And I'm grateful to have friends like that who have my back to reach out so that my family can enjoy our time in peace. And I am grateful for all of the friends who've reached out, who've had their eyes open, and they say, how are you doing? How is your family? How are your boys? Some of my kids are crying themselves to sleep at night. If you don't know what that's like, count yourself lucky. And then realize what it's like to be Black in America and be the change. Followed in the story. Be the one to speak up when they're being racially profiled. Be the one to stand up and make a difference. That's all we ask.